So this is what I've learned about how people describe you compared to how you describe yourself to you describing yourself to others and others describing you to others. Now, this is not anything about reputation. I am a 17-year-old boy, so don't take advice from 17-year-olds about a reputation. This is just something that I've maybe observed in the way I live my life about how people describe you and their mental image about you, how they label you in their own minds or directly to you. So, first of all, we're gonna talk about like labeling, like describing people. Is gonna be hey, balls. Don't worry about this. This is something that I forgot the other day and it's not coming off. So we got how people label you, and by label I mean maybe someone can say I have a short fuse or I'm impatient, I'm creative. So these are like labels that people tell each other. So first is labels, then is how be this is how people describe you, whether it's to yourself or others, and all that also includes labels, and then this is how you describe yourself to others and to yourself. So first of all, we're gonna see the labels. Now, what is a label? A label would be what I'd consider something like, for example, when two people meet, they instantly, as a human being normally, you're gonna instantly start giving them a mental image of who you are. That would mean something like, if I said, for example, I like fitness, you might be able to see that, and then someone would understand that, and then if someone else would ask them, yo, who is that guy? They might say, he's a dude that loves fitness. Or you might say, I'm very creative, I love business, I love this, I hate this, I political opinion, whatever. That's a label. And the label, of course, in all things, the beginning is always gonna end up in a very different path. We'll say it like that. If you change position by 0.2 degrees in the beginning of a flight, within 1,000 miles, you're gonna, or 1,000 kilometers, you're gonna be at a very different point. This is what I'm meaning. So the way you label yourself when you see others is very crucial. And when others label you, that would mean, I'm gonna, there's something that happened that I've noticed in my life. It's that I was supposed to cut the grass, and so we had someone that was doing it. We had someone that came over and was cutting the grass once or twice a week. And then one day I told that person, leave it, it's my job, I should do it. And then after I told that person to not do it, I procrastinated for like 2 weeks, and then the grass grew way too big. And then obviously my dad came up to me and he was like, why didn't you do it? You told the person that we told to cut the grass, you told him to go away so that you can do it, and you don't do it. And I said that buzzword. I said procrastinate. I labeled myself as a procrastinator. And so after that day, in the following like 2-3 months, my dad repeated to me that thing 5 times. He repeated 5 times to me, you're a procrastinator, you do this, you do that, you're a procrastinator, no, you're a procrastinator, like 5 times, even though I just said it once, and I label myself as that. And so that's also how people describe you. People will only describe you how they believe that you describe yourself. So they're always gonna have a description of you based on your looks, based on your beliefs and stuff like that, but they will only believe what you tell them about yourself. They will only describe you the way you describe yourself if they believe how you describe yourself. That might sound a bit complicated, but it's simple. So basically, if I went up to someone and I said, I'm the world champion boxer. Now, that might be a bit unbelievable because, duh. And then someone might call me out, and then they might say, yeah, he's a bullshitter. And then when someone asks, yeah, who's that guy? He might say, oh, he's either like some dumbass that thinks he's a world champion, or he's, and then insert something else, like the way that they would describe me. But if I went to someone and I said, I like fitness, that's far more general, far more normal, and you could also see it a bit, I hope. And so that's something that would be far more believable. And so in that case, it would be far more likely that someone would describe me as someone that would like fitness. So I labeled myself as someone that likes fitness, and because they believed it, they would also tell. If they don't believe it, they're not going to describe you as such, because if they don't believe it, most likely other people aren't, and like it's something about reputation. They don't want to like tell others lies about you, even though it's complicated. But basically, they're only going to describe you the way you describe yourself if they believe it. And so, how do you describe yourself? If others describe you only how they believe you, you should only describe yourself when with something that is believable, and you should only describe yourself with something that is either positive or obvious. For example, even if I procrastinate, I learned that I should not use that buzzword because it's gonna lead into a lot of bad reputation and stuff like that. And then my father, in that case, he described me as a procrastinator for far too many times, and that hurt my reputation, I would say. To my father, of course, that's much different. He's my father. He known me my whole life. That's not the point. In another case, for example, if I could give one more example, my girlfriend, I told her one day that I was working a lot on my business and on school and on my job and everything. And I told her, yeah, I was burnt out. I don't remember the conversation, but I just told her that I'm burnt out. And I needed a bit of rest. And then my girlfriend, this exact same thing happened. Within the next 2-3 months, she ended up repeating to me the word burned out like 5-6 times. Just the exact same scenario, just different word, different people, different scenario. 5-6 times. And now that's with people I know, and that's with people I have lived with for a long time. With my father my whole life, my girlfriend a few years. And if a single buzzword can affect such a big change to people that you already know and that know you and that have their perception of you, imagine the difference that it would make to someone that you don't know. For example, if you go on a date and you describe yourself as something, like if you say the word procrastinator for some reason, that woman or that guy is going to know you as a procrastinator. And whether they find that attractive or not is not what I'm talking about, but that's how they're going to remember you. People don't remember whole phrases in conversation, people remember buzzwords. And that's why my girlfriend remembered burnt out and my dad remembered procrastinating. So labels, how you label yourself, how you talk about yourself to others, meaning I'm a fast rider, I love fitness, I do boxing, I like my family, I spend time with my dog, whatever. Just something that is a characteristic, something like that. How people describe you remember this phrase, try to remember it. People only describe you the way you describe yourself if they believe how you describe yourself. So you can't bullshit. And if you can lie, one day or not is going to come out, because the truth always comes out. It's also something I learned in life. And one day or not you're going to get bullshitted. And that's just not a place you want to be in. And then how you describe yourself, never lie about yourself. It's not a good idea. And then make sure you carefully watch out which buzzwords you use, whether that's procrastinating or productive or burnt out or motivated. Should be really, really careful what words you use. So I hope I just tried to make that clear. I made this video more for myself. Hopefully I can watch in 5 years and then laugh at myself because of how I talk and how I explain things. But if you find this useful, give it a like.